We're here today to answer one simple question. Vokey SM10 Wedges, are they worth it? As a mid-handicapper, should you be paying the extra money to upgrade to Vokey SM10 Wedges? So we've just come up short on this par 3. We're on the front edge, so there's nothing in front of us. So we're going to give the 50 a little bump and run. We're going to see what this comes out like, and then we'll give the 58 a go. Let's give the 58 a little go. So we're going to go tight lie first. So there's not going to be a lot of air under these at all. So should we be using a 58 in this situation? So the bounce is not very forgiving at all. Didn't stop very quick. Club face is dirty. So the only shots that stopped before the hole were the ones that I duffed. So I duffed one with a 50 and I duffed one with a 58. There was no stopping power at all with the 58. Didn't feel like I had a great deal of confidence. I was so concerned about thinning it. So just something to keep in mind. So we've left ourselves in a similar situation to the last hole. We've got a little up and down, slightly short-sided, flaggers at the front. One of the most common questions that we get in respect to gapping. So my pitching wedge is a 45-degree pitching wedge. I then have a 50-degree, 54 and a 58-degree wedge, all in Vokey. So I have a 8F in the 50, I have a 10S in the 54, and I have an 8M in the 58. So I don't like a lot of bounce on my 58. I like it to play tighter, so I'm not thinning it as much. I still thin my 58 a lot just because bad contact, which is the reason why it's a risk-reward type of club. I don't really use it that often in and around the greens. I like my bump and runs for that reason. So we'll have a look at this, see what we can do. Came out left and hot. So we'll take a few more with a 50 and then we'll get the 54 out. That's better, a bit of a nasty bounce and then it sped up. So that's really gone low. That's ran a lot further than I thought it would. That fringe is taking a hammering, pushing everything right, so we need to play a lot further to the left. So those 50s didn't play out very soft at all. They all ran for miles. So we'll play the 54, see how that one plays. Let's just caught that front edge and scooted forward. That's what I feared if I didn't clear that front. And that's stuck. So 54, definitely, I mean, we've short-sided the green with a 54, which is better in some respects. But still, we're nowhere near the hole. The final 3 shots that we're going to play is with a 58. So we'll put a little bit of loft on these, we'll see if we can land them a little bit softer. We do run the risk of thinning it, but got to give it a shot. So we'll open the face just a touch as well. Played quite nice. Try and play a similar one to that. So open the face again. closest one yet. Again, open the face. For those that don't, I always lay the club down, open the face and then grip. I find it gives me a lot more control than trying to do it beforehand. And that's what I normally do. So that's my normal shot with my 58 when I'm short-sided. Tend to come up short. And I'm sure those watching this video will have done exactly the same. I'm not sure whether that is going to have given us enough to sort of start to get a picture of this, but looking at that dispersion, there's not a lot of consistency, and hence why we're looking at this from a mid-handicap position. We're not tour level, so am I seeing the benefit from the Vokeys? I don't know. I think it's a bit early to say. So this is where my 50 degree comes into its own. I absolutely love my full swings with my 50. My 54 and 58, 54 and 50 degree wedge both have Project X LS shafts which match my irons, which just gives me consistency throughout my bag. Feels amazing. This is about the only spot on this hole that we didn't want to be. Didn't plan it as part of just this review. It was actually just a poor shot. So 54 degree, big lip to get over, short-sided on the green as well. So we've got 54, if we can't get out, we've got 58. Take a few shots, let's have a look. It's out, landed a couple of meters past the hole, stopped pretty quick. Overall, pretty happy with that, to be fair. That was good stopping power. Can we do it again? Distance from the hole was even better, much closer. Pinned it. Okay, give the 58 a go. See where this one can go. We'll have a few shots with 58. Might not be as forgiving because we haven't got as much bounce. I suspect that's right where we were sort of suggesting, because we haven't got a lot of bounce to play with. Just move across a little bit. It's up and out. It's quite nice actually. Green just runs away, so it's quite a difficult shot. That's comparable with the best 54. So that shot right there is actually the best shot so far. Would I normally play out of the bunker with 58 degree? No. But that was quite nice. Looking at the three closest, two of them are the 58. One is the 54. In here, we've got two 54s and two 58s. The two closest to the hole are the 58s. So, surprised me really. They actually stopped quite quick, and this is what we was working with. So you can see the slope. And up and over to the bunker. So, not a huge amount of space to be working with and a lot of downhill. So to hold them quite close, we'll take that. It's not a bad place to be at all. So we've played we've played with the Vokeys for 3 months now. We've played through the height of summer and getting attacked by a wasp. And we've played into the start of autumn and start of winter. Now, are they a good club? Yes. That is without question. They are a phenomenal feeling club. The feedback that you get on a good strike, the sound that they make is incredible. Are they forgiving? I hit more thinned shots with the Vokeys than I did with my previous wedges, and my previous wedges were the Callaway Jaws Full Toe. I also didn't have a 50-degree wedge. I had an approach wedge, which was part of my iron set. Would I recommend changing my approach wedge from my iron set to a Vokey 50-degree wedge? Now I've used it for a while, yes I would. Originally, no, it wasn't worth it at all. Why would you spend £180 replacing your approach wedge that came with your iron set and gives you consistency through the bag? Do the shafts help that match my irons? Do I feel that they are consistent? Yes. Having the same shafts as my irons, apart from a wedge flex 58 degree, I think it matches the way I play. They are phenomenally good. Do I feel I get spin on the ball? Yes, I do. I regularly find that if I use the chrome tours and the chrome softs, that they don't last long. The Vokeys do rip up the face of the ball. You don't get that many holes out of the balls because the wedges are aggressive. The grooves are good and they last. So where do I think the benefits are? 50 degree, let's start with a 50 degree. Full shots and bump and runs and like little chips around the green. Fantastic club. 50% swings, 75% swings, I don't use it. I'd rather use my 54. My 54 degree wedge on full swings, 75% and 50% swings, incredible. The feel, the forgiveness of the 10 degree bounce on the S grind is just forgiving. I like it out of the rough. I like it on a tighter lie. You can put some swaz through the club. It is nice to hit. 58 degree wedge, it's like a high performance car without its traction control on. You are on the edge. It feels like at times you have all the control in the world because the car is a phenomenal car. The wedge is a phenomenal wedge. But you do find that at times you are so close to the edge with a 58 degree and the low bounce that it is willing to destroy your shot at any given moment. And I have many, many holes on the courses that I play where I have gone through the green with the 58 degree, playing a chip shot back through onto the green with a 58 degree, and I've gone back through the green again. It is like playing on a knife edge. You just don't know which one you're going to get. Is it Jekyll or is it Hyde? And that, for me, is the club that I think is probably the one that you have to think about in terms of your course, your regular course, what conditions you play in. Do I think that the M grind now is the wrong grind coming into winter? Yeah, I do. Do I think it needs to be a more forgiving grind at this time of year? Yeah, I do, absolutely. I can't fault the Vokeys though. They are a phenomenal feel of a club. They're a gamer's club. They're not hugely forgiving, being milled. They are a gamer's club. So here's the verdict. Would I recommend spending the money it takes to put 3 Vokey wedges in your bag? No. As a mid-handicap golfer, there's better money to spend. There is absolutely better money to spend. They are incredibly, incredibly nice to play with. But are they worth over 500 quid for a set of 3? No, not at all. The Cleveland wedges are getting raving reviews. Pick up some near new or ex-demo. They will serve you just as well without the price tag. But if you have got the money and you are a mid-handicapper and you can afford the time it takes to get used to them, and yeah, go for it. But just be prepared that they're not going to be as forgiving. That 50 degree is not going to be as forgiving as that cavity back wedge that you probably play. That 54 S grind is probably the most forgiving and nicest wedge that I've got, especially with it being in the Project XLS shaft. I love that club. Full shots and 75s are my favourite. I absolutely adore it, but it is a tough set of wedges to get used to. There you have it, guys. If you found this useful, let me know in the comments. What wedges are you playing currently? And what's your handicap? Let me know. See you in the next one.